How Long Gone is here. It is a overcast Tuesday. I'm actually at the Greenwich Hotel. I'm recording this podcast in a suite before I take some pictures of someone. And they were kind enough to let me use the hair and makeup bedroom as a recording facility, which is quite nice.
I like that you included that it is a suite and not a room, Chris. Very cool, very important.
Well, I mean, I want it to be specific. You know, I love to kind of drill down on details.
Yeah, it's important now that you're a professional author and writer. You know, those little tidbits are kind of what separate you from the regular writers, right?
These haters can't even touch my tidbits. That's a known. That's a known fact.
Get your hands off my tidbits.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's cold and rainy and overcast here as well. May gray is in full effect, but I think in a couple days
we're gonna be back.
We're finally gonna have summer
in time for Just Like Heaven Festival this weekend, May 10th. That's all.
Just
I'm
Like
hoping
Heaven
for.
Music Festival, May 10th. Tickets still available. Guest list for me, not so much. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a bummer since Carolyn's out of town. I'm not going to be able to share those magical memories with her, but I'll be able to leave whenever I want. So I think it cancels each other out, right?
So things are looking up. Yeah, leaving whenever you want is the key.
I don't need to see every Death Cab song. You know what I mean?
Leaving whenever you want is really, like, that's one of the main priorities in my life in general, I think. So I recognize where you're coming from.
An exquisite feeling.
Exquisite. I had the longest day of my life yesterday.
Okay.
I lived to tell. Well, I woke up at 4 a.m. to leave Miami.
Mm-hmm. From F1 to Met Gala.
Yeah, real glam. Let me tell you. And then
that is glam. Literally, I don't know if it gets more glam than that. Right? Those are two elite.
Well, there's levels to this. You know what I mean? And I was in as usual, a mid-tier level where I planned to die. But the flight got delayed because of weather. So we circled for a while, and then they made that dreaded announcement that we have to land at Dulles to get gas, which to me meant like, oh, I'm stuck here. Like, there's no way I'm leaving DC. We're fucked. And then miraculously, we did fill up. We did get back to LaGuardia, and it only delayed me 5 hours. But we made it home. We're able to shower. Mm-hmm. We hit Odeon for dinner.
Beautiful. Tough res on Met Gala Monday.
It didn't actually seem. It was an interesting crowd. Anyway,
I actually have no idea. I've only been there once and never on Met Gala Monday. It just seems like a place where one would go.
It's actually a restaurant that's always busy, kind of. Like, it's just every night is at 8 o'clock. There's not going to be a table, which is envious. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and then we went to the GQ thing at the 22. I like that place. I like it a lot, actually. And I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. It feels expensive. It feels nice. The finishes are good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you mean. Okay, and this was the GQ post Met Gala party hosted by 3 Stacks and some other people, right?
3 Stacks, piano on his back. Yeah, it was 3 Stacks. Will, of course. Sam was there. Sam was wearing a really great Saint Laurent tuxedo, but he looked like he was going to direct the LA Philharmonic in a cool way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was dramatic in a way that only Sam could pull off.
Okay. Conductor Sam.
But then we Rostam was with us, and Rostam was like, let's go to People's. Jeremy O'Harris is having a party there. And I'm like, it's 1 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not.
You woke up at 4. You've been up for almost 24 hours. It's a Monday. You don't do drugs. The list goes on.
Yeah, the list truly is lengthy. It's a scroll at this point. But Alex is obviously turned up. She's loving it. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. Mm-hmm. So we walk over there, and it was a great party. One of the better parties I've been to in a very long time.
Okay, congratulations.
So I'm glad that I went, and I wanted to highlight one thing that happened just to get your kind of take on it. Mm-hmm. I walked into the back room, and it was like Addison Rae, Charlie, and Julia Fox.
Swing.
And yeah, exactly. And Charlie introduces me to Julia Fox, who I've actually never met before. And Julia Fox says to me, "You look like a detective." Because I was wearing a tie and a blazer, and then I was like, "Oh, that's kind of what I'm going for." And then
Chris was happy to hear that.
And then I realized that she meant it positively. It was non-derogatory. which was I was glad that was the case.
So she specified detective, you said.
Yeah, I said undercover and she said detective, which I get because of the tie. That does feel a little more elevated as far as what my job would be.
A tie and blazer, isn't that what everyone was wearing last night?
No, not at all. no, not like me. Okay. Not like me. I do it different, and I'm not saying I do it different better.
So you were the one motherfucker who wasn't wearing a steampunk outfit.
Yeah.
So everyone was like, "Oh, who's this normal guy? Are you on the case, Gumshoe?"
Luckily, everybody changes before the after party, but Lorde was there as well. Saw her before we left. I really liked. I mean, we'll get into this with our guests, but I really liked Lorde's Tom Brown. I thought it was very cool.
Yeah. Her little. Everyone says every person should have their little black dress. Lorde has her little gray box, or maybe their little gray box. Gender is so shifting right now.
I swear to God, if I look at gender one more time and it moves, I'm gonna be out of my mind. I swear to God, it's like.
Did you see something? I could have sworn I just saw gender shift in the background.
I swear to God,
my gender paralysis demon has woken me up again.
I swear to God, but yeah, it was in that place. I hadn't been to People's yet, but it's we got to go when you come back. I really liked it. It's like a townhouse. It like feels like you're in. It's really well done. I was super impressed.
Okay, what was so good about this party other than the guest list? Music, drugs, food. What's going on?
Just the vibe was actually. I saw our Ion Pack La Familia was there. They were what I love about those guys is they're wearing their ties. They got their leather jackets on. They're the only people eating hamburgers and French fries that are being served. Like they're at the table. Like, oh, Chris, what's good? Let me finish my burger.
Like, damn, free grub. This rocks. And everyone else is like, I would never eat food in public. Are you kidding me?
But I think that people were. You know what it is? I think that there are some parties and situations like this that are too big. You know what I mean? And certain people feel like they can't really let their hair down. But like,
of course,
this kind of thing, it's like Jeremy Allen White's like smoking a cig inside, and all is right with the world was kind of was kind of the vibe with it. But yeah, it was really fun.
Like the Vanity Fair parties of yore,
exactly,
where it's like everyone is a friend in here. There's no PR, there's no managers, publicists, blah blah blah. It's just
it felt like
a bunch of famous people hanging out and having fun and actually hanging out together.
Yeah, that is really what it felt like.
Versus delivering deliverables and KPIs and things like that.
There's not a war room in the back where they're editing photos on the fly. You know what I mean?
Right. Which I know that you love, and I also kind of love whenever I'm in a place that has the war room going on. It makes you feel like something.
Yeah, I love it. I love a war room. My friend introduced me to a guy, and he's like, "This guy's a legend," and I'm like, "Okay." And I meet this guy. I'm not going to give away any details, but I meet this guy, and then afterwards, my friend tells me that guy slept with 4 of the Kardashians, and I was like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean? What do I mean? He slept with 4 of them.
Okay, so we got Kourtney, Kim, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie. So there's 5, and he's done 4.
4 or 5. I'm gonna say that Kendall's probably the odd woman out in this case, based on context clues.
So he's a black guy. Got it.
Yeah. Yes. So I was just like, wow, that's some of the coolest information I've ever heard. You know what I mean? And I had to act cool. I was in a party, but I was like, well, I'm in the presence of one of the greatest stick men of all time in the Calabasas area.
Yeah.
He's like, no one's got a better rate because Drake moved out. Kanye moved out. So now this guy's kind of number 1 for the zip code.
Mm-hmm. But also, we're not considering Rob. Do you think this person could go both ways?
Oh, that's actually, yes. Good point. No, good point.
Or he could have just said Kardashians, you know what I mean?
That's also true. That's also true. It was the language was specific and chosen for a reason. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
He actually took Robert down too. He's a little bit of an older guy. Rest in peace. Yeah, damn, that is cool. Good for him, and I'm jealous of that. Last night I had a little bit more of a chill night here in California where they did not have the Met Ball, but I went over to Gigi's, had a little mini seafood tower and a skinny marg with good old Al Wilmot. It's their last week of being open in LA, so everyone should go over there and grab a martini and some French fries and smoke some cigs outside. Send them off.
R.I.P. One of my favorites. I had my 40th birthday party there. which was a great. Now we've had some How Long Gone after parties there. It's going to be missed, but I imagine Al's got plans. You know, we'll find out a new watering hole soon.
Yeah, I might go over there after Just Like Heaven, because since it's, you know, the festival over there, because of where it's located in the Pasadena neighborhood, it has to be done by like 10 or 11. So that's just when the club getting started.
That is just when the club getting started. So you had did you have some Korean barbecue?
Got some Korean barbecue as well with Gelb, who was on the pod last week, and Sam Lerner and Rob Fishman. It was just me and 3 powerful Jewish guys enjoying Korean barbecue on Cinco de Mayo. It's as multicultural and ethnic as you can get. They all sort of assumed that I was Jewish as well, or at least I'm an honorary one.
Uh-huh. You felt that.
I don't know if that's based off of my... I was like, is it a schnoz thing? And they said, no, it's more of like the dry sense of humor, you know, that kind of... And also, you know, supreme intelligence level and things like, you know, just like the minute details.
Of course, yeah, I get that.
But it was good.
How do your clothes smell? Or did you already throw them in the wash?
Well, that's the thing. This place has these tube fans. They kind of look like periscopes on a submarine, but you can move them up and down, and you can. It's basically just like a high-powered fan that sucks all the meat air and smoke and stuff. And you are able to, because you know every Korean barbecue place will have like ventilations and fans and stuff to try and keep the air fresh and clean, but it, you know, can only do so much when a restaurant full of people flipping those intestines and short ribs around. But you're able to put it like literally like 2 inches above the grill, and it just Dysons all that smoke straight up in there.
That's really cool. Now, do you think this is an innovation on their part? Or do you think this is a product they were able to purchase and install?
I think this technology has been around for a long time, and especially in Korea, and I think it's just continuing to innovate and improve over time. And it's in a place right now where I did not smell like bulgogi at all.
That's great, because if I do that, I got to leave my jacket in the car. I might go in shirtless, you know what I mean, just to be safe. If I have something to do after,
put on your barbecue wetsuit, maybe.
Yeah, they should provide like the way if you go to like a country club and you don't have a blazer, they give you one that kind of is ill-fitting. They should have a version of that for Korean barbecue.
I was hoping for more of like the little Birkin poncho or something that they could put over you.
Yeah. You know, when we were at we went to Walrus Rodeo on Sunday night in Miami, and it was delicious, but they brought over a little for Erica's bag. It was like a hook that just slides onto the table to hold the bag off the floor.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I hadn't seen the slide on before. It was very nice.
I mean, I'm sure she had a very cute bag, and it needed to be protected from.
It was a classic Kate Spade, which is really, it's nice to see that make a comeback.
Spade's coming back, I've noticed, huh?
Kate's back. I mean, it's been back for a while, but this particular bag was like the one. She had like the small one, but it was like kind of a nylon material. You know it. You would know it if you saw it.
I know, and just like every other bag, just because the brand is hot, not every single. You know, you have to get the right Kate Spade bag or the right, whatever bag.
Yeah, you can't just buy any. You can't just get whatever. You know, you can't just get whatever. You know that, Jason. You're a smart guy.
I've seen a lot of ugly Miu Miu. Trust me.
Yeah, that's actually same. Dead ass.
But it goes for every. I mean, when I see it mostly when I go to the outlets by Palm Springs, go hit Prada and Miu Miu and all that stuff, and you're obviously Prada is a clothing company that has very tasteful, amazing pieces throughout the decades. Thousands of different amazing garments that I would love to wear.
None of those are there.
Just as many. And they're like, oh, this sweater I actually kind of like. It's only $1,700. But everything else, like, you couldn't try. Like, even if you were trying to make the ugliest thing in the world, you couldn't touch what was going on here. And every time I used to not like going to the outlets that much, and Carolyn likes going as well, obviously, but I would just kind of do the sit on the boyfriend couch and play Candy Crush or whatever. But now I really get pleasure scrolling through those racks, especially the sale racks, deep discount ones, where I feel like this is the one of one sample. Like nobody else has it because it is that awful and ugly.
This is the ugliest thing ever.
I come close to buying sometimes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. The only time I ever want to buy like high-end luxury is when it's so ugly it's a joke. Like I almost bought a Laura Piana t-shirt a while ago because it had their logo written in graffiti, and it was like $700.
Dude, that's really good.
And Carolyn was like, "You can't do it," and I was like, "Oh, I want it so bad."
That reminded me of when I bought you the Supreme Kurt Cobain shirt, and you really pulled that one off. I was talking about that on Sunday night, actually.
I wore it under a suit.
Looked great. It looked great.
Not a lot of people pull it off. Now it's a gym shirt. Who knows?
Yeah, you could cut the sleeves off that bad boy. Really fit in.
Actually, I was talking to friend of the show, Luke, OG Luke.
The goat
reseller god, and he posted it was a mad happy like it was, it kind of was like a little like track zip jacket, like like the Adidas jacket with the stripes on this, something kind of light and sporty, and it just had a butterfly embroidered on the chest hit, and then just a simple mad happy logo, and he was like posted it like, do I do it? And I was like, this seems like something that I would want to buy and wear as a joke.
I think Mad Happy is a step too far, but Luke is one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram because he really do be posting crazy stuff. Like stuff that I just am like, wow, I did not know that existed. But I also saw today that a place in Atlanta is going viral for letting people set up payment plans for Chrome Hearts jeans. So, that's good for Luke. You know what I mean? Business is good.
Of course.
Business is good. But if you got to Klarna the Chrome Heart patch jeans, I think maybe you got to rethink some things.
We got to look at your life, brother.
We got to take a hard look in the mirror.
Okay, so today's Tuesday. I don't know. I think Diplo's twink gave me COVID, I think.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me depending on how close you were. I know that you like to talk in the club, so I'm feeling I'm not feeling great either. I got I think some allergy stuff. I also just think that like I need a full night's sleep and I'll be back. I need a drip. You know what I'm saying? We get an IV, bro. Treat yourself.
I think
that shit works.
I need a NAD shot and a drip and
get nadded up.
I think I need to NAD. I think my NAD time is here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have the plug, get the NAD, start shooting.
How much do you think it's going to cost me?
They shoot in probably not that much. It's honestly, all that stuff is like, I mean, it's not cheap, obviously, but it's an investment in your future. You're not getting.
What do you think? What's my monthly going to be?
$200-$300.
Okay,
is my guess. Maybe 500 total. Maybe if it's like uncut. If it's the pink NAD, it might be 500. But the regular grade, I bet you can get it for a little less.
I think this is high. My plug is high level.
Well, you're also getting it from you're getting it from a drug dealer. So hopefully the price is a little lower because they don't have a big overhead. They're not paying for a space. They don't have security guards, et cetera, et cetera.
Actually, speaking of drug dealers with security guards, when we were in Koreatown last night, there was a weed store that had just opened up, and it was in the theme of Bored Apes. And the sign on the store, it just says the word weed.
Kind of cool.
It is kind of cool. I mean, where do we go from? I mean, I guess it kind of reminds me of when you watch movies nowadays and the title has to tell you what the film is about. Like if this is a movie about a guy shooting people, it has to be called like Gun or Shooter.
Murder Man. It's sure.
And like every television show that our parents watch on CBS and everything, it's just called like Hospital, Lawyer, Fire, Police.
That's actually true.
I don't know how much, and then the cannabis dispensary is called Weed. I don't know if we can distill and dumb things down anymore. I mean, I guess just like pictures. Is that the last frontier?
I think we got to go nonverbal. I think we got to go just keeping eyes on it. Just keeping the eyes on it.
Well, I'm not married to letters. It could.
Yeah, I'm not letters. Look, there's 26 of them. How many do I need? Yeah, I don't want to offend any of our listeners with letters. We have a guest today. Our friend Lynette. Whoa. What just happened?
We're gonna do Lynette. We're gonna do an intro real quick. Just hold up for 1 second.
Yeah, our guest today is a friend, Lynette Nylander. She's the executive digital director at Harper's Bazaar. She also co-hosts their podcast called The Goodbye. But I thought she was the perfect person to bring in for some Met Gala recap. She's an expert, and she's also British, which always works well for us.
How are you?
Hi, Jason. I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little under the weather, but we're gonna push through.
Is that from Met Gala party hopping?
No, I live in Los Angeles.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
Just straight away.
Well, yeah, that's what makes you sick. No, I'm joking. I mean, you could have gotten a Delta One over to enjoy the festivities.
I almost did. I got because my wife is a stylist, and she went to Australia for a job, and I was home alone for like a week, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just bop over to New York and have fun with my good friend Chris, do a podcast or two, and then when I saw how much it costs to fly to New York during Met Gala week, as well as a hotel, I could have bought two horses for that amount of money. You know what I mean?
I hear that Delta One is,
and I don't need another
that
one.
Delta One is savage. Chris knows, million miler.
Yeah, but
He
I
knows.
know, Lynette. I know you like to kick your legs up, though.
Oh,
You're not.
Listen, I'm loyal to that medallion status, that diamond status. Call me 360 Delta. That's what I'm looking for. I need to get up there.
Is it true? Is it Lynette? Is it true that the only reason you're doing this show is to get closer to 360? We're sort of
Absolutely
the fast track for a lot of our guests to get that.
Absolutely. There's no shame in my game. If that's what if that's what gets me, have you seen the new Delta One Lounge at JFK? Ding.
Of course.
I'm a fan, and while she works her way up to a PJ, she does a little pit stop at 360, which I really enjoy. Delta team, I've never wavered. I don't do United. We do JetBlue when we need to. But
I'm surprised you're not like
I'm with the big D.
British Air. Yeah, I'm with the big D too. I didn't know you. I didn't know you. I kind of thought you might have been a British Airways chick. At some point.
The British Airways. This is actually like a known fact about me with friends that that I'm close to. British Airways product is a national disservice. It's so rinky crinky. The food is awful. For them to say that's our national airline is honestly a point of contention for me as a British person. It's embarrassing. And the thing that really takes Delta over the edge is that Virgin Atlantic upper class. I always call it the world's slaggiest airline. Slaggy is a very British term, but it just means like a little bit saucy, a little bit fun. They're a little bit cheap and cheerful and cheeky. Like all the air hostesses when you fly to one, you're right, babe. Welcome to Virgin Atlantic.
Yeah, no, I love that Delta partner for the Virgin, and you want another glass of they'll pour your wine glass a little bit more and give you a cheeky little wink. That's for you, babes.
It's just correct, just for you, babes. It's the Jenna Collins of air hostess.
And I'll be like, oh, is it? I'm not sitting in first. Can I use the bathroom over there? And she'd be like, don't tell anyone I let you in here. Would you like a little bump as well while we're in there? I set you up with the line, babes.
Yeah, it's the Charlie XCX of airlines.
Of airlines. Yeah, I like that too. I feel like some of those people are having too much fun at work,
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna march their mellow.
No. So
yeah.
Sure, Delta, call me.
First of all, what did you do last night? Because I didn't see you, and I thought I would.
Oh, Chris, I don't even know if I want this broadcast. I
Too late for that, sis.
I worked until near 2 a.m. and I went home.
Were you in a Harper's Bazaar war room?
I was in a makeshift Harper's Bazaar war room. Yes, there was a couple of us. We had champagne, we had a little sushi, and we just thugged it out. And by the time I had a list. I had a game plan of all the things I was going to try and hit, and it just all failed. In fact, I mean, this is really boring and techie, but weirdly, my iCloud malfunctioned and I couldn't get iMessages for like 2-3 hours. And if I can't get, if that's not happening, then I'm missing everyone. No one has any loyalty on Met Monday after parties. They are like hitting their circuit. And I just couldn't intersect And then over the Queensboro Bridge, because I live in Brooklyn, it started working again. And everyone was at WSA at the same time. And I was like, turn around. I've got my outfit in my bag. But then, you know what? It's fine. I know deep in my soul, I was missed.
Yeah, of course. No,
Yeah,
and I think this shows.
Chris felt it when he was making the rounds last night.
I was literally like, "Where is she? She's coming on How Long Gone Tomorrow. I'm sure she's here somewhere. We could have a little."
No.
There's a
quick-
lot of people that he was actually hoping to introduce you to, Lynette, and you
Yeah,
were
it's weird. Yeah. Some guys, a bunch of hot guys. I was going to
a
introduce
couple
you to.
meetings lined up. We had to put those down. It's a bummer.
Wow.
So you're telling me that you in the war room you're wearing your street clothes, but you had a full glam ready to go in the tote bag.
Well, let me be clear. It's never street clothes. Street clothes. It was a beautiful sheer kaftan style dress. Actually, it was brown. It was really beautiful. With Bodhi shoes. But yeah, I was wearing like what I wore that day, and then I had a Alaya pants. I had a whole look, a Alaya jacket in my black tote bag, which is by my front door right now because I dumped it by the door this morning. Yeah, I had a whole look, but alas. But it doesn't matter because when you go hard in the paint, there's always another opportunity to wear the outfit, to wear the looks. I'm not worried.
Whatever you got to tell yourself, Babs.
So you're saying that you go hard enough where there's always an opportunity to stunt. Basically, you don't need the Met Gala to stunt.
I
You
have a
can do
saying.
it on a Tuesday night.
Every day is a first. What is it? Every day is a second chance at a first impression.
Deep.
Deep.
Yeah, I think you believe in fashion karma, where if something that you really wanted to do didn't end up working out. It could be a job that you couldn't do because someone's out of town or whatever. When you really believe that you have fashion in your heart, it'll come back to you when it needs to.
That's very poetic, Jason. Yes, I agree. And yeah, I mean, it actually, on a real tip, I was sad because obviously I think that this Met was actually a cool one. I mean, I know we're going to get into it, but I actually thought that the people who came were the real icons, legends, and stunners. Like, say what you want, but when you get a triptych of Madonna, Stevie Wonder, and Diana Ross showing up somewhere, you're at somewhere. Like, these people don't go out
That's true.
to just,
That's true.
the average little affair.
I didn't see Stevie on my. I didn't see Stevie
He
on my
performed
recap.
he performed at the gala.
performed.
I think he did like 3 songs, which is. I was always wondering who performs, and I've heard it's usually pretty good. It's varying, but like overall, it's pretty good, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the food is bad, so you got to have something.
The food is notoriously bad. Do you remember the year Tiana Taylor brought her own Chick-fil-A in? That's
Well,
really
Tiana Taylor is an icon. Unfortunately, last night she looked like a magician working at Disney World. But I mean, I don't. She is a legend. I love her. And
hey,
what? Do you disagree?
no, I actually listen. I like people who take. Well, we're gonna get into it. So are we getting it? If this is
yeah, we're into it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
we're
wait.
sure.
We here, baby. We here.
We here.
Let's okay. Well, this one's really tricky because
Not for us.
I'm not talking about her specifically. I'm talking about this Met because taking a big swing, if you really try to knock, you risk a lot of things that could have gone wrong.
Especially as a white person, I just want to put that out there. Especially as a white person.
Yeah.
So So would you say a big swing is telling a bunch of people who don't know anything about fashion to duplicate the look of a black dandy from a Victorian era?
Oh, good grief, have mercy! If you want to get technical, the theme was tailored for you. Was
what
the
exactly?
theme.
I mean, you said to get technical, but what is tailored for you specifically?
Exactly.
Mean?
It means nothing. It means nothing.
I think it's obviously
My Google AI assistant agent is tailored for me as well.
Exactly. Alexa is tailored for you. I think it is obviously ominous for a reason. I think people confuse the Met Gala theme with the Met exhibition a lot of the time.
I'm a victim of I do that myself, and I apologize.
Guilty as charged, Lynette.
Yeah. And I think it's important to make a distinction, right? The exhibition is super fine and is about, this study and critique of Black it's not critique, a study and celebration really of Black dandyism throughout the last 300 years. And that's the exhibition. Then you have this theme, which obviously you pay homage to what you're going to see in the exhibit if you're a guest of the Met Gala. But and in this very specific theme and in this year, you would have been a fool to not read the subtext of like, you need to, support Black designers in fashion.
Yeah, Wales Bonner's met, but would put it down and pick up the Wales Bonner. We got Martine Roses available to you. Like, you can't wear
somebody.
Because I would have pulled up wearing Ralph Lauren and it would have been bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I went to the exhibit preview and one of the only white designers is Ralph Lauren.
Well, I think he's accepted by all communities. I think he's kind of the GOAT.
Yeah.
Cross races.
100%. I think he can lay claim to actually, when no one was fucking with. Sorry, can I swear on here?
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous. When no one was fucking with dressing a Black dandy or dressing, a Black man with that savoir-faire, like
he would do it.
He was doing it. Like, think about Tyson Beckford. He has his whole career to thank for Ralph Lauren and that subversion of someone who looked kind of like thuggy and from the street and saying, actually, you're so beautiful, you're so this, that I'm going to put you in a 3-piece suit.
Lynette, you're talking about Tyson Beckford like you might have had a poster in your bedroom or something. I don't want to put that on you.
I did, but he's still hot.
Of course.
He looks great. No, guys like that they don't. He's hot till he dies. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's hot till he dies.
Where is he at though?
He was there.
Oh, was he?
I feel like I never see him around. I don't. It's quiet for Tyson. I'm sure he's living a very calm and relaxing private life.
I think they wheel him out when it's like time for the male supermodel. Like, we salute you.
Well, historically, as men obviously have it hard, and male models especially don't get the respect that the female models get, and that's something that we try to be a face for that on How Long Gone, but I don't think today is a day to go over that. I don't want
we get it, fellas. It gets better.
It gets better.
There are solutions.
It gets better.
The lifespan of a male model, it's so short. You know what I mean? And we've had it so tough for so long.
Believe male models. Believe male models. That's all I'll say.
Come on.
But Lynette, it kind of reminds me like the theme. It seems like the theme every year the theme gets a little bit more and more of a minefield and less of just like, here's a theme that we can all understand and appreciate. Like, it reminds me of when the theme was camp.
Yeah.
And we quickly learned that like 99% of people are not camp and don't even know what it means.
Yeah.
So, if you're Benson Boone and your stylist tells you to dress like a Black dandy, I'm just gonna mentally shut down. Like, what is that even? It's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, I don't care what Taylor McNeil tells me. I'm wearing a suit. I ain't putting on no funky shit. This is the problem, men. Unless you're Coleman Domingo, put on a suit, bro. Everybody, you got to relax. Anything else, you got to chill.
But put on a suit with a steampunk pocket watch and 11 brooches.
I'm saying I'm showing. If I got invited to the Met Gala, I'm showing up in a tuxedo with no flair. I'm going straight.
Okay,
Kendall.
James Corden.
Oh no, Chris!
Chris thinks he's Tom Ford. That's why, Lynette.
I do not think I'm Tom Ford.
You think he's Tom Ford?
Yeah.
I do. This bitch thinks he's Tom Ford.
I think I hear your trepidation, but I think that is selling like yourself short. I think the people who had successful executions last night, like us, the classic term, ask somebody. Like, there are enough people to reference us. I thought, like, say what you will, I thought Kendall Jenner, like, getting breaking away from her usual stylist and saying, hey, I'm going to work with Gabriella Karifa Johnson and she's going to introduce me to Tora Sheju, who's an amazing young designer that the Com group are, like, grooming to be their next kind of designer. And show me the way.
I agree that is cool, and I want to point out Kendall Jenner is a beautiful female model, and that's why it's partly.
So it didn't even matter that her look was boring. That's that's the power of it.
But this is what I'm saying, Jason. I prefer boring and respectful than adventurous and stupid.
Not at the Met Gala for me. Met Gala, this is splash out time, highest degree of difficulty, and that's why I love that 90% of everybody looked awful, because the people that did look good, you're like, it makes it that much better. It displays the degree of difficulty in real time.
Jason is just not letting up. I don't think everyone looked that bad. I thought I would see a lot more hot mess. A lot more hot mess.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you. I mean, I think like overall it was pretty. I think people were careful and it made it better.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, listen, I think there's two safe. Like, I was so disappointed by Hailey Bieber, who again, another beautiful woman, but like, she goes harder in her street style. To me,
Well,
like,
she goes harder because she's wearing 5XL jeans and a crop top, and you know she can pull that off.
she can pull it off. And a tuxedo dress, I just was like, of all the things,
Yeah,
like,
she was looking kind of boring.
I love the way Justin is just like boring.
I mean, it was boring, but I like I said,
her man is at home like smoking a bong and watching golf on TV with his like hood rat friends while she has to go do the adult stuff. You know, I would be in a bad mood too.
Imagine if you had to quote unquote leave your child with Justin while you go to New York. You don't want to do that. Like, I don't care how many nannies are there. That the Rock's still getting smoked. You got to be careful.
Guys, that's blasphemous. Moving on.
Show me the lie, Lynette. Show Chris Black the lie.
All right, Lynette. So let's go through. Well, I would like to hear some of your. Let's start with the ladies. Like, what are the favorites? Because I mean, we could pontificate for hours.
Let's do it. I thought that, you know, it's a bit like eye roll because we all know. I always call this person a cheat sheet because you kind of can't get it wrong. But Zendaya looks so amazing. Like, of all the suits, like, her suit was just so perfectly tailored, and beyond it being perfectly tailored, she just really knows how to serve a garment. She knows how to model it. She knows how to turn and burn it. She knows how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, she knows how to open her coat at the right time and show the inside and
the angle of which she positions her face, the tilt of the hat. There were a lot of white three-piece suits. There were a lot of like versions of a zoot suit, which we were gonna.
Let me ask you about hats, because I hate them in these instances. Usually, hers was very dramatic. I think it did work, but overall, I think the hats were a lot. Like Bad Bunny's hat was a lot.
Oh, I liked that. It was a
lovely bird's nest of
bird's nest.
It was a Bottega bird's nest, which is I didn't hate it.
Hey, it was Prada.
Okay.
Bird's nest, and it was a play on I read about it, a play on a sort of Puerto Rican traditional hat. So,
look, I'm sure all of it plays back to his heritage, and I'm sure he's showing respect to his dead uncle.
Oh God,
Puerto Rican is what that is. Puerto Rican.
You're like the let's get down to the dragon.
Puerto Rican's good, Jason. I'm not going to let that slide. Puerto Rican is nice.
Yeah, I think so. So the white suit and the hat. I think Anna Sawai, the girl from Shogun, wore an almost identical look, and I think they both looked equally great, but. You know, the 70s hat, a little Carmen Sandiego energy to it.
It was Carmen Sandiego gets married is how I would describe it. And it looked good.
She looked like a female Santana.
Yeah, that was good. And yeah, she just brings the extra swag with it. And I thought it was really cute. She went after Diana Ross, who was one of her references for her look. She referenced mahogany and then went after Diana Ross on the record.
I like that. I like that Diana Ross had her little son helping her out like the assistant. I love my
What
man.
else is he gonna do? I would argue that Diana Ross might be best look of the night for me.
Wow, that's a big exclamation.
That is, but you know what I really liked was Pamela Anderson. I thought the Tory Burch was very cool.
Even though she let her kid cut her bangs?
Yeah, I don't love the bikini kill bangs, but
I think it worked.
I think she looked cool.
I
Lynette, what do you think?
The bob was cute.
Christopher, let's come on. I don't know if that was one of my personal standouts, but you know,
this is why we're here. This is why we're here, is to discuss it and disagree and agree and come together.
I guess we are only talking about her haircut. I don't remember what her dress looked like at all. So I loved it.
I thought it was very cool. But I understand.
I think the beauty of living in America is, you know, free speech. So let's move on to Lewis Hamilton, who I thought looked really good. I gotta say, like, you know, I've been like playfully calling this year's Met Gala like the Grace Wells Bonner Grand Prix, because if there was anyone who was gonna win this, who was born to win this, who made her brand to win this, it was Grace, who I adore and have known for a very long time. And I think that just it doesn't mean kind of de facto that I think she's going to be the best at it, but I thought that was like a good execution. He looked good.
Even though he's 4'11", he fills the suit out nice. This must be tailored for him.
Lynette, this is Lynette. It sounds like you like him a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
No, boo, and don't do it.
Just making sure. I'm just making sure.
Okay, well, let me make sure.
He's in the market for a new beard. It could be a good.
So
career.
Lynette, what do you think about the beret to the side with the brooch? The beret to the side is a powerful look. It has a little Public Enemy to it, perhaps.
Yeah, a little Samuel L. I like it. I think it's cool. Like
he looked good. No, he looked good. I thought he looked good too.
He looked good. And as a co-chair, like I think it was great that someone didn't just do, the Vuitton, the Prada, the Chanel, and actually was like, I'm gonna support a young.
Well, he's a big Wales Bonner like customer and wearer.
Yes,
like historically, right? Yeah.
Yes, he is, and
he's a Bond man.
And Eric McNeil, who he works with, is a huge Wales Bonner fan as well. So like, it makes a lot of sense. But in these times, everyone's like, the Met Gala has become this massive billion-dollar ecosystem. I don't besmirch any celebrity who's like, listen, I'm trying to get my check.
Yeah.
Very needy leaks. I gotta get this watch. Okay.
Yeah. we're in a post bag getting society. That's but I would say with Lewis Hamilton, I think it's cool that it took a professional athlete to be one of the only people who really pulled off like a dandy look well.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of ironic that
professional athlete, he drives a car. Let's keep it.
Quote, that's why I did my air quotes, but it's very demanding on the body.
It is. No, it is.
You know what I mean?
The G-force alone. And
Chris having just left the F1, you should know that.
But this guy's neck is also normal sized. And a lot of those guys have thick ass necks, but Lewis looks good.
He's got a dandy neck. He's a dandy driver.
They have to train their necks because the G-force is so crazy when they drive.
Oh, it's
a whole thing.
I never knew that. You learn something new every day.
That's a whole thing. All right, so you like Lewis.
You like Tiny L.
What did you think of what Pharrell's jacket was made from?
Pearls. Hopefully sustainable.
It was a little snug for my liking, but being made of pearls is cool as hell.
I liked that it was made of pearls. It was a little short in the arm and a little short in the pant leg.
It was. I'm looking at it right now. You're right.
You look stunned by this. You look like you've been offended.
Well, because like Pharrell with dandy. Okay, I also want to clarify. Like everyone's just using dandy for a stylish black man. Like. Also, let's get into that. Like,
we got white dandies too.
Yeah, no white dandy erasure here.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. How could I forget?
Also, I feel like white dandies are British culture.
I'm sorry. How could I put last the white male? You've gone through so much. And
don't sleep on us. Don't sleep on us.
Don't sleep on us. Do not. Do not, Lynette. Do not sleep on us.
Okay, so I thought Pharrell's jacket looked nice, and I thought this was the best look that Pharrell has had on a red carpet in some time. I think he's been wearing his little baby fat cowboy jeans for the last couple of years, and it's nice to have, even though the pants are sitting short, I kind of like the way it looks with that flat-soled shoe.
No, it's cool. He looked good. He looked good.
Like Pharrell's in a category unto himself, really. Like, and really, honestly, the other stylish men who all happen to be co-chairs, like him, Coleman, Rocky, like they're the few guys in the world of like 10 names I could think of off dome who really know how to wear fashion. So when I say Pharrell's a little short, whatever, he's still better than 99.9% of all people ever.
Sure.
Pharrell,
we're splitting hairs.
Yeah, we're splitting hairs. And if we also want to talk about the back catalog, and I'm not talking about music, I'm actually talking about back catalog of just looks
of Skateboard P. Yeah, it's true.
Skateboard P does have a good I mean, I don't love the NERD mesh cap, but otherwise he's killed it.
Rude. That was some of the best.
Yeah, the yellow mesh cap was very sexy at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want to point out that him and Rocky are both exceptionally good looking, which I think helps with the clothing part,
Yeah, I mean,
some of us have to try hard. I have to put lipstick on a pig every time I leave the house. You know what I mean? I'm not walking out there looking like Pharrell looks rich. Rocky looks real rich now.
Yeah, no, Rocky looks rich, right? Let's talk about that. Rocky looks good. This relationship has been the best. I mean, he was always looking really good.
Do you think that there's a point where he could get any more pretty? Is he maxed out on the prettiness level, or he's going to reach a rarefied air of prettiness that males quote unquote straight have not been able to accomplish.
Yeah, he could be a Denzella where it just gets really good as he gets older.
Yeah.
Like he has it in him. He has the bone structure. He has the carefree energy of a man who knows he doesn't have to work another day in his life, and that he got the baddest beat he was begging for years. So it's like it's
he's addicted to drugs, and that keeps him a lot more carefree as well.
Yeah, it's having no responsibilities. That's great. I mean, he definitely doesn't have to put out music. No one cares about that. But he shows up. And he looks
he
good.
makes no secret of his marijuana use. Lynette, don't act so shocked.
Don't act like you're on the Ray-Ban payroll. Relax.
I think Rihanna might smoke a little grass too from time to time.
She does.
Not while pregnant, of course. Not while pregnant.
Not while pregnant. No.
Only one glass.
Okay, so you liked, but ASAP Rocky was wearing his agency, AUG.
I think don't you say AWGE? I think you spell it out.
I don't know.
Augie?
There's no periods between the letters.
Is it like Pog? Does it
Do not
mean
say
something?
Pog, Jason. Do you know what Pog means, Lynette?
No.
Fat ass white girl. Fat PHAT.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, insert
PAW. Yeah, Pog.
Pog.
PAWG.
Hold on.
PAWG.
Are you Googling this live?
Of course. Hold on. Oh yeah, fat with a PH.
It sounds so much better with your proper accent. PH.
With a PH. Okay, well, go off.
We learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I love learning and teaching.
I guess speaking of fat ass white girl, what do you think? I saw a few people saying Sydney Sweeney was reminiscent of a Big Lotto. Do you think that she was giving Big Lotto?
Because she was she was hourglass, but spilling out at the top. You know what I'm saying?
This is just absurd.
Lynette, Big Lotto, yes or no?
No, big no, hard no, big lot no. Okay, like she's a beautiful person, and as I can attest to, but because of sheer fact that I run a website. People are fascinated by her. People are really interested in clicking about her and knowing about her.
You tell me people click on Sydney Sweeney photos more than others?
She's got the best jet skis in all of Orlando. I'll tell you that. That she ain't playing with that.
Okay, so you said no Lotto. I saw another person describe her look as Creole. What say you, Lynette?
Creole?
Like instead of going dandy steampunk, she was doing a little like Nolan's turn of the century kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Sure, I can see it in the fringe, and I guess the Kisco head, but I don't know if I'm trying to give a rule that
like she would have like a knife in her boot or something like that.
But Lynette, let's get past the titties. Did the look work?
Yeah, I think she looked pretty. Like, am I thinking about her? You know, the 24 hours, or it's not 24 hours, 18 hours after, thinking, "Whoa, she really did that." No, but like she was comfortably in it. She looked cute. She sold that Miu Miu contract, and there were references, and like I'm sure they like had some 1920s flapper girl Josephine Baker style energies on the wall. So she's a part.
Can you break down for the people that don't understand? Like let's say Sydney Sweeney has a Miu Miu contract. That means she is paid a certain amount of money to wear Miu Miu to a certain amount of events per year, correct?
Exactly. And be in campaigns and show up to their shows on contract.
What do you think, Sydney Sweeney? What do you think is hitting for? What do you think the check is looking like from the Prada group?
Oh, I mean, how many followers has she got? Let me see. What I want to say.
Yeah, do the math, Lynette. Pull out the P&L.
Every guy I've met, that's how many followers she has.
Yeah, every guy I've ever met, seen.
let me get my abacus out. Hold on. She's got 24.9 million followers. She's on a really huge TV show. She's beautiful. She has male sex appeal, which I want you to explain to me after I do my abacus. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you have to put on the 10% white girl agency fee. So, I don't know. Like
white tax.
Yeah, of course. You get extra. Millions. In the millions. And like, I'm not mad at her, actually. Like, she seems cool for that generation.
Yeah,
I think I like that she lives in Florida and maintains kind of a swamp lifestyle, even though she's very wealthy.
Yeah.
I
Very
think,
Lana Del Rey.
I think she's generally attractive, but it's more like a girl you went to high school with, which I think is why she's so popular.
That's exactly it. She has what Tate McRae wants. It's like that like you could be her if you like leveled up a bit energy, but more than Tate.
Mm-hmm.
Tate really looks like the girl next door.
Yes, and she has no songs, just like the girl next door. So I kind of get it. She at that point, aren't you just the girl next door? She's Canadian. She's from like Alberta, so you never know.
Which is weird that she's so MAGA. She's not even from here. But what a great dancer she is. Am I right?
She's a great dancer.
She is a good dancer.
She is a good dancer. All right, so you liked that, and you Sydney Sweeney gets a pass from you.
She gets a pass.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I would say in that since we're in the white girl wing of the museum, I would say maybe worst look Sabrina Carpenter.
Awful.
Oh, she's on mine too.
Awful.
It just was, and it was custom Louis Vuitton. So Pharrell designed this, and
well, that's the problem. You got to get a real designer. That's the issue.
That's the problem.
That's the issue. You got to get somebody.
Clearly,
you're like, that's the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. I think like I think like she's a cutesy girl that again the average American woman is going to be like, wow, she's so glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
So she can put it together, and I've seen her look great at other,
I think she's too
events and things.
She's too like mini for me.
Okay, well, we're not.
No, I don't mean I don't mean like that. I just mean like for clothing. Like yes. I think you have to really do it right and be very specific about your choices.
I think she said, or somebody said, the reason why her look did not have any pants was to elongate her silhouette because she is so devoid of inches.
Right, but didn't the look, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't it have a really exaggerated sleeve?
Let me see here.
So it's 6 or a cape or something. I remember there being like length on the arms. And to me, that's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? Because like you gave her no pants, but you put all that bulk up top and she can't handle that either. And I thought the biggest climb actually was her hair. And I know she has, she goes for the big kind of diet dolly blonde hair. And like, that's her thing. But she needed to pull it back and up. She needed to get it up. And I just don't think it was a very successful execution. I also don't know what it means. I don't know beyond anything, whether I like it or not is neither here nor there, though I get it for the purposes of the show. It's that I don't know how it relates to the theme. I don't see any through line. I don't know if the buttons or that was there like a sort of epaulette thing. I remember it just fell flat on all I could have given her a pass if it was like a hard reference of something and I would have been like, oh, like she went for it, she swung, she didn't get there, but like whatever. But it was like nothing.
Her reference was kind of like Bugs Bunny or like the WB frog.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
What's his name? I always forget his name. He's got a name.
I don't remember. The WB frog. But yeah, if she had a top hat and a cane, which seems to be, there is a long-running theme of accessories this year. Canes. We could start with canes, but Rocky had his cane that had a bit of a pistol grip on the end of it, and there's a lot of canes going on. I kind of like the cane. It seems like a cool accessory.
You know what?
There's something to do with your hands.
No, I'm all set. Central C with the cane, and I love Central C, but you can't. First of all, men can't wear Jacquemus. That's number one. That's the rule.
No, that's not true.
Jason, there's not.
The pants that are hanging behind me, Jacquemus.
They look like Zara. Not those, but I'm saying his brand looks like Zara. It's expensive Zara. It's expensive Zara for people that like want to go to Spain. Am I wrong?
It's resort wear, I think. I think there's a time and place for it, but I agree. It's for the average guy, it's a hard thing to pull off. Let's say that.
I'm glad that he was there, though. I've been following along. Central C has started vlogging on Reels, and it's really funny. He's really good. It's like really, really funny.
Yeah, a lot of women I know find him really attractive and sexy. I think he kind of looks like a cricket wearing a suit. What do you think, Lynette?
A lot of someone who I will not name, who attended the gala last night, and we had a little catch up this morning, was also telling me that they have a little crushy poo on Central C. Maybe he looks. I think he's He reminds me of a guy that ate chicken and chips on the top of the bus with me and my friends when I lived in London, like growing up. He has a very familiar look, the way he talks. So I have a fondness in my heart for that kind of thing. And do I, in my mid-30s living in New York City, want to like chase down someone who looks like Central C? No, but I think he's cool looking.
You have a rule that no man can wear Nike Tech fleece sweats in your house. That's kind of like, that's a bridge too far for you.
You can, but you need to also, if it's going to be that, you also got to know about good wine and get a decent dinner reservation. It can't be like, we are adults. Like, the saddest thing is like when you're two like hanging on, clinging on for dear life, reading that high snobs, trying to claw through for whatever. Like,
okay, so you're saying he can look chicken and chips, but he can't actually be chicken and chips. He can't just be a guy who like plays video games all day.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. Like, we like budget. It's good to have budget.
You don't strike me as a person who loves budget, but I'm glad that you're saying that on the record.
Yeah, actually, Lynette, speaking of your budgeting and your organization, you're a fellow Virgo. Is that true? Chris and I are both Virgos.
Oh, yeah. That's why this is going so well. Yes, I do. Well, we're the best. Let's be clear. But Virgos really are the best.
We the best.
Don't do it. You do it. We the best. And think about all the Virgos that rock. Tom Ford, Beyonce, Cameron Diaz, Zendaya, Michael Jackson. Don't go there. Like we all are correct. And
I agree.
Best of our shit.
That's right.
Like, also, my favorite Virgo and my birthday twin, Amy Winehouse.
Oh, come on. Like, really. We go hard.
One of your greatest exports.
List goes on.
And we go hard. And sometimes, in her case, we go too hard. But, like, we are still in the lexicon of fabulousness, culture shifters, movers.
Okay, that's good to know. I feel like I'm shifting culture every time I leave the house, and I thought it was just because I'm pushing, but it's because of my Virgo birth date.
No, that's because you don't go to Brooklyn, so you're surrounded by people in downtown New York who feed that to your ego.
No, they don't. They do not feed that to me. I mean, do you think that wouldn't happen in Bed-Stuy or whatever?
Yeah, I think you'd be humbled.
Because I'd have to walk so far to get a bottle of water, or because like there's no restaurants, or like how would I?
Honey, try leaving below 14th Street. It's a really, really fun endeavor.
I do. I go to LA all the time.
He does.
It's called the
airport.
Yeah, I go to LaGuardia. That's in Queens, I think. I go to JFK. I think that's also in Queens.
Yeah, he's out of there all the time.
Yeah.
You act like you come to the city every day, don't you?
Yeah, I'd be there.
But you're a city bike user, aren't you?
I like a city bike. I'm a purveyor of all the car apps, the Lyfts, the Ubers. I even take a Rebel car sometimes, though I don't like those because they make me sick. Driving in Teslas make me sick.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, guys, let's get back on track, you guys. Let's get back on track. I love the Rebel blue cars, but we have fashion to talk about. Rosa Parks' face being embroidered on Lisa from Blackpink's underwear. What say you, Lynette?
You're not gonna make me do it. I refuse to give this nonsense any airtime. It's so washed to me. I can't even.
Okay, well, we have a follow-up question. If Pharrell were here right now, what would you tell him about this choice that he made?
Yeah, I would want to say to him, did no one, doing the tech pack or the cat, like think,
Hey, can anybody send me a high res file of Rosa Parks' face? It's not coming up. It's too small.
So Pharrell was maybe like, hey, are there any Korean pop stars who were recently discovered saying the N-word on a bunch of videos because I really want to put Rosa Parks on her pussy.
It makes no sense.
It's about as bad as it could be, right?
Yeah.
It's as bad as it could be.
I think, whoever was like, let's take one of the greatest, one of the icons of the civil rights movement and put it on a pop star's underwear. Like, it's just...
Do we think this could mean the end of K-pop? Do you think this is the final nail in the coffin we need to get...
Not at all. Not at all.
It's over. I don't think it's happening the way it used to be. I think even like a year ago, it was twice as big as it is now in America.
Do you think that Pharrell pulled the Rosa Parks panties out and was running down the line and everyone's like, I'm not wearing those. Are you fucking kidding me? And then Lisa was the only person who agreed to do it? Is that a situation?
Lisa didn't know who Rosa Parks was. That's why she agreed to do it.
Of course. But I'm just trying to wrap my head around like the why or how this could have happened with all of your touch points.
French people don't understand anything either. The higher ups are famously racist. So
I also want to say, yeah, I think we're giving Lisa doesn't know.
no, Lisa is actually not to blame here. She's merely the messenger.
She's not to blame. It's crazy to me that kind of slipped through the cracks, and it probably speaks to everyone being afraid of Pharrell. Like I can't believe in they're a machine. There must have been several fittings, as mentioned, a CAD designer, a tech designer, fabric, this and that. Not one person was like, whoa. And if they were they empowered to go and say, hey, like waving the white flag here, like
don't say white flag, Lynette. I see what you did there.
Black flag. But you know what? Maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe no one cares. I always say, how many people saw that Pepsi Kendall Jenner ad? And there it was. So,
a classic. I mean, that's one of the best of all time. Yeah. That's one of the best examples.
And then you get today where you have to deal with that blowback.
They'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. It's just a little surprising given, co-chair of the event, pillar of black culture, a black dandy if there ever was one, let's try and get it right.
He effed up. We can agree
on the subject of Pharrell's choices. What do you think about Doechie's Louis V facial scar growth tattoo thing? What would you call that?
That's a really good question. I can't say I'd ever seen anything like that. I think she looked good.
She had a great pair of shorts on. I really, really dig Doechie's. Like,
did you see the video of her being mean to her help at the hotel?
No, was she mean?
Bad, Doechie, bad. She was screaming at him for umbrellas to cover her, to hide her.
I think, unfortunately, Doechie, who I also love, is going to get too big for her britches too fast. No short joke intended, and I think it's going to be.
Will you send it to? I'd like to see that.
Because have you seen the diabolical gay that's with her? It's like a white guy with like fake lips. He's always with her. I'm like, this is bad. If you got a man with you who's got lip filler, you're going down the wrong path. Yeah. Straight or not? I mean, straight or gay?
Fair, and I back that statement, but no, I haven't seen that, and I hope not, because I think she's so cool. I think she's got like that thing that it's like a little Lauryn Hill, it's a little Erica. It's the girls that like can do that eclectic thing, and it's kind of wrong, but you kind of make it right because they're swaggy, and I've just been so impressed with her, and I thought like. It's not a look that I think anybody else could have done. And arguably it's a look that I might not have even liked on anybody else, but I thought it was cool on her because she can kind of like give that energy. I thought the afro was cool.
She can wear anything is the reality. Yeah. She's one of those people, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting all right. We're in the last 15 minutes here. We need to get into the fellas.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Andre 3000 and his piano and garbage bag. Maybe that's my favorite look.
Hard.
And the thing is, you wish it was. The haters are gonna say it was Photoshop. Like, it was so good. Like, to see him there is just amazing.
With a genuine smile on his face, no bullshit, no attitude.
No,
He's
I liked
a
it.
happy guy who's happy to be here.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked
not
it.
Not leaving after 10 minutes out of like social anxiety. Like I've heard he does all the things. I think this is like, it was great. It was weird and kooky, but like, if not Andre 3000, who else? And he worked with Law Roach on it. And I'm just so glad he went. And people like that went. Like I watched, like shout out to Andre Walker, who also went to like.
He looked good. He looked cool.
He looked incredible. Like Arthur Jaffa, who went like the real ones.
Mm-hmm. I saw him at the after party. He had a fat ass earring in. Nice looking earring.
And the gray hair looks good on him too.
Yeah, like
dignified.
Antoine Sargent. Like
Antoine looked good too. He looked good too.
Like people who are really, the spirit of that dandyism in modern day interpretations. And I think that Andre 3000, look, he's everyone's reference. Like man,
Yeah.
woman, old, young, everyone fucks with him. Everyone likes to see him. I don't know if he plopped. I thought he was going to plop down that piano and start hitting it, but he didn't. And I don't really care. Like I think Lorde said, like when he brought him the idea of the piano, he was like, "Yeah, only you." Like, and I think it's great. I
so that was Roach.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, in terms of it bringing an accessory along with you, I would say this is the highest degree of difficulty and the biggest success compared to like my purse is a sewing machine, or I'm carrying like a little.
I hated the sewing machine purse. Who was that? I'm blanking on it. I hate it.
I forgot the name, but
I hate it. I don't even think it was a purse. I think it was just straight up a sewing machine.
Just a sewing machine. Like the theme is tailoring. I'm going to bring a sewing machine.
They even saw that shit in half. I like Jeremy Allen White. I thought he looked really good. Thought it was cool.
His pants look good.
Oh my baby! Now you really can say it on record that I like this one.
Okay.
He looked cool. He looked really good.
He is so fine. Like, so let's just start there. We're gonna talk about handsome men. Like
you're saying little white boy could get it, is what you're saying.
Oh my god. That's insane. I am saying that I think he is an attractive man and I think he looked great. Well, who was he wearing?
I think he was wearing LV. I think it was LV.
I think it was LV too, with the clean sweep. Yeah, I thought he looked great. I think he's riding high on obviously the success of the Bear and his Calvin contract. His Calvin pictures changed lives. That was good.
I'm not exaggerating because I walk by that billboard every day, and there would be teen girls like giggling, like scandalized from seeing the billboard. I was like, that does not happen anymore. That is a strange, rare thing, you know. But I thought he looked great. I thought he looked really cool.
I think the back to back of Jeremy Allen White and Bad Bunny on that billboard was really that was a subtle serve from Calvin Klein.
Yeah, it was a real left right punch, and you were knocked out.
Yeah,
that's for everybody. Yeah. I also liked I'm blanking on his name. The guy who wore all the color, the white boy, the gay like theater guy. I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, Cole Escola.
No, not Cole, but Cole.
I think Cole had maybe best and worst look at the same time. It was psycho. It was so it's ugly, sick. But it looks also very sick.
Like grandma's couch type beat.
Yeah, but which is kind of his thing, and at least you can do it. So like, go off. Again, that's what I mean. One for something, but I respect you because that's your zhuzh. Like that was good.
Now Future, I'm seeing people saying he looked Korean.
I have him written down, guys. What was that?
I like the hair.
No, Jason, no.
I liked it.
No.
Jason, stop it.
No.
Please.
Come on, it's Future. Future can basically do no wrong.
He did that wrong this time. That's my whole point. He
did wrong.
That's my whole point.
Yeah, and that was really not his. It wasn't his man, and he's so again another gorgeous man. Like doesn't have to be this way. Really, like has.
It doesn't have to be this way.
It doesn't have to be this way. That height and the shoulders of he can wear a great suit. He can wear something fantastic. I don't quite know what happened. And then also in front of his like baby moms and her really super rich new husband, it's like. Come on now, you knew they were all going to be there.
But he's the corniest guy of all time, so it doesn't matter.
It's true.
That's why that's the coolest.
Thank you for agreeing.
Yeah, where's this guy I'm looking for?
What did we think about Jeremy O'Hara's friend of the show? I thought that he may have understood the assignment in the most subtle and tasteful but perfect way.
Well, speaking of people who actually can really do the dandy thing, like let's really lay claim. Like he's someone who. He's not new to this. He's true to this. Like,
and he was holding up the ring in the photos.
Yeah,
with the little. It was nice.
You'll see Jeremy O'Hara, downtown at a party, and he's wearing this on a regular Tuesday. So it was his time to shine. I don't know who he was wearing. I can't really remember, but the brand. But I thought he looked good because again, it's like a swing, and no one else could do it, and it's kind of weird, but he's that guy, and like own it. This is. I think for people where this was your Met Gala, like if this was your Met Gala, go off. Like and he's one of those people.
He was wearing Balmain.
Balmain, and yeah, I think that's good.
Wow, if he can make Balmain look good in
That's what I thought.
2025, you got
thought.
the touch, bro. That's God.
It has to be tailored just for him, otherwise it doesn't work.
That's God tier behavior right there.
Other friend of the show, Shabuzi, I think he may have been worse dressed, but the turquoise grill I loved.
Turquoise grill, I like. He's taking me to Santa Fe, and I like it, but he looked insane.
You guys are good.
He had like this turquoise pearled like women's blouse on, but everyone is more so talking about his fat ass. He's working with a monster.
Oh,
is he dragging a wagon? Hold on.
He's dragging a wagon, Lynette.
Wait, hold on. What?
Yeah, take your time. Google away.
Okay, yeah, I love the grills. And his skin looks great, and he looks like nice and moisturized, which is, I would say, 20% of the battle.
You're saying everything, you're talking about anything but the clothes, Lynette. I'm starting to wonder.
Well.
You're like, what do you think about his outfit? Amazing skin. He is taking all the right supplements.
Yeah, it's my version of great gowns, beautiful gowns. I think, like, listen, I think it was a swing. And, I think that day he missed.
Nobody expects Shabuzi to shut it down.
Shabuzi's in the twilight of fame. You know what I mean? He had his time, and this is probably the last gasp of No, I don't know if Shabuzi's got another one in it.
Well, I guess speaking of Lil Nas X, not spotted this year. Is he in the Kia Asylum?
I have a feeling he wasn't invited, and I thought about that actually.
No, he's a flop. It's over.
Wow, Chris!
But is that why he wasn't invited?
He doesn't have any songs. If you ain't got songs, you don't get invited. Babyface, Babyface was there. You know why? He's got songs.
Chance the Rapper was there, and I don't feel like he has songs.
Lynette has a good point. That's
a good point. But he could have prayed about it, and God helped him. That's
No.
Lil Chance asked God for the invite.
No.
He said, God, I need
God,
this.
I don't need
divorced.
the +1, God, if you hear me.
No, prayed on it. Lord, have mercy.
Okay, well, speaking of Lord have mercy, and we'll go back to the fellas, but I would say Megan Thee Stallion, titties popping out like a Yorkshire pud. What say you, Lynette?
Well, I'm going to pause just there to make the pun that is just lying right there for me to grab. Lord have mercy for Lord. I
loved it. We talked about it. I thought it was awesome.
You're not real. You're not really here. I'm not doing that with you.
So I was told it was inspired by a cummerbund, and you see that when you look at it now. And once I saw that, I was like, oh shit, it really do look like a cummerbund around her titties.
To me, it looks like, when you see like a meme and they block out the person's username and it's like a gray 3-dimensional rectangle. To me, it looked like that. It kind of reminded me of a Tetris piece.
Very sexy for Tom Brown, though. Tom doesn't usually do that. Like Tom
as a fashion insider, how do you think that piece was holding on? Is it just double-sided tape, or do you think it's some new technology maybe?
I don't know, like hot glue and Jesus. I don't know what that was.
Speaking of prayer.
Speaking of prayer. Okay, we agreed to disagree on this one. I really didn't like it.
I loved it. I thought it was cool. I thought it was actually cool looking. You know what I mean?
I think it's a divisive look.
I understand though.
I've heard a lot of wild swings on, but I think most people are in your camp, Lynette.
We're talking. Okay, let's go back to Meg's.
I didn't even see Meg.
Oof.
Meg was there with Michael Kors.
Well,
you're like, I still didn't see it.
Try again next year, but that's fine. Does she look good?
Let me look. I actually can't remember.
She always looks good. She always looks. I mean, in my personal,
I didn't know you were I didn't know you were a Meg head, Jason.
I think later in life I've become a Meg head.
I mean, she's bad. There's no question.
She is
she's bad.
So bad. Like it's like really on another level. Like that body is really there to like gobble the girls up. Like so she gets a pass just on like that extra level of
body alone.
Body
body alone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Lynette. Sorry, I got to wrap this up, but we really appreciate you.
Wait. 2 more things, Chris. I think that we should have had an appearance from Cat Williams, one of America's leading black dandies.
Oh, that's true.
You're so correct. That is like, but they're always going to leave a few soldiers behind. And I completely agree. I completely agree. He actually should have done the live stream, the Vogue live stream. And that would have been a song.
Let's get Spike Lee out of here. We don't need him. And get Cat in.
Spike Lee is the fucking worst.
Did you see his hat?
I hate it all.
It was the craziest hat I've ever. Look up Spike Lee's hat.
I ain't ever seen it.
It's a New York Knicks cowboy hat with the brim cut off, rolled up like a cycling cap.
I don't watch it. I never watched any of his movies. I don't care. All he is an annoying New Yorker for me.
I don't even know what was he was wearing a Knicks hat. Let me look.
Spike Lee's Bamboozled, year 2000. My favorite Spike Lee film. It's actually a good one.
Okay.
Back when Spike Lee had some, he tackled some real subject matter and not just watch the basketball. Yeah, well, thank you, like Chris said, for taking the time, Lynette. He has to go shoot some photos of some talent right now. The money doesn't stop for Chris.
Listen.
The money actually stops often, unfortunately, and that's why I have
This
to
is an unpaid
chase
opportunity for Chris.
Like I would not. No, it's not. But I am Bugs Bunny, and there's a carrot in front of me at all times. Let me say that.
Okay.
So go hop, biatch.
But Lynette, thank you. Honestly, you were the perfect person to do this with, and we'll have to have you back.
I agree.
For any occasion.
Virgo power.
Yeah, that was fun, guys. I mean, controversial but fun. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Star Trek. Niggas is haters, I'm doing deals like the majors. Ice cream sneakers, I signed my first skater. You could pay $3 and buy yourself some babesters. Bulletproof on the t-shirts because they hate us. Dude like Snoop say, step your game up. Double decker boat, nigga, Mediterranean up. D-class,